This is an athlete client who is very fit and toned. She had a diastasis recti that she closed. However, she's super frustrated and confused by her abdominals, which push forward and out. As you can see in the images and the ones that I am pointing out with the arrows, her obliques are extremely dominant and working very hard. Those are the muscles that are running up and down the sides of her torso. The oblique muscles are pushing on the abdominal wall from the sides, and everything is being pushed forward and out. In addition to this, she has an extremely tight hip flexors and very limited range of motion in those hip flexors. And her pelvis doesn't move very well, and that tension line is also pulling her torso forward and down. So we would say that her hip flexors, her pelvis, and her abdominal wall are very limited in their range of motion, and that rigidity is causing a lot of pressure in her abs and torso as a whole. Added to this equation, her rib cage is extremely tight and immobile, and she lacks rib and thoracic mobility. That's another element that's causing that forward and down motion that we see in her abdominals. So her entire abdominal canister and core wall is being squeezed from the top, squeezed from the sides, and the bottom of her core wall, her pelvis, is quite rigid and also very immobile. Essentially, her core is strapped between three very tight, rigid structures: her spine, her ribs, her pelvis. So if this client wants to work on the forward pushing of her abdominals, no amount of diastasis recti or core isolation exercises is really going to help her, because at this point what her body needs is to release the tension patterns from above, below, and from the sides that are pushing her abdominal wall forward. Added to that no amount of stretching her obliques, her rib cage, or her hips is going to resolve this issue. We've seen that time and time again with many of our clients.